Okay, this article comes from the website daretonotdiet.com. The author, her name is Glens, Glenys, and I guess her last name starts with O. She doesn't give her full last name, but GlenysO, December 7th, 2015. The title of the article is That Intuitive Eating Study. In one of the most colossal failures to interpret intuitive eating to the masses, Gretchen Reynolds reported in the New York Times Magazine on this study, which concluded that intuitive eating was not any better than calorie restriction for shedding pounds. Are you effing kidding me? There really is nothing that will put me in a rage more than someone trying to take one of the few weight loss mentality free, diet free philosophies on earth and trying to turn it into a weight loss diet. In case you don't want to read the article or the study, though, if you do, please come back here for a complete breakdown of how this is just so wrong from top to bottom. I'll sum it up here. Researchers took 16 men and women and put half on a diet and gave the other half instructions in intuitive eating, and after 6 weeks, the dieters lost around 5 pounds, and the intuitive eaters, while initially losing weight, did not show nearly as much weight loss as the calorie restriction group. Neither the article nor the abstract mention average weight change for the IE group, but I suspect it was insignificant, and I'll explain why just as soon as I finish banging my head against the wall over here. There are 3 huge problems that I can see with this study. The first is the fact that intuitive eating was not designed with the intention to produce weight loss. Straight from intuitiveeating.org, it is an approach that teaches you how to create a healthy relationship with your food, mind, and body. Nowhere on the website is weight loss promised. It's simply not about that. It's about becoming a no-drama eater. Unlike how most people eat while on diets, total drama. In the process, a person's weight may stabilize as a result of eating according to inner hunger/fullness cues, but that doesn't necessarily mean weight loss. And in some cases, it might even mean some weight gain if a person has been maintaining below their natural set point. And yes, some people may lose weight, although this is not a scientifically proven outcome, which is why the end point of intuitive eating is a relaxed, healthy relationship to food and eating, not weight loss. So comparing intuitive eating to dieting to produce weight loss is like comparing apples and watermelons. It's just that different. Other than being about eating, they are not at all the same thing. They are not at all the same thing. But that didn't stop the study authors from making the comparison. The second big problem is how intuitive eating was executed, with all the accurate imagery that word evokes in this study. All participants, including the intuitive eaters, were all weighed. So while one of the principles of intuitive eating is not throw out your scale, reject the diet mentality is the first principle, and weighing is an integral part of weight loss dieting. Many intuitive eating practitioners I know won't weigh their clients because it is counterproductive to becoming reacquainted with their internal eating regulation. Why? Because stepping on the scale may trigger the expectation of weight loss, and that expectation, whether met or not, can mess with developing true body trust. It becomes about reliance on external outcomes, not internal cues. But these study participants were indeed weighed. How effective, then, do you think their practice of intuitive eating during the study was? Do you think they were truly able to trust their internal signals of hunger and fullness when they step on a scale and were reminded of the expectations around weight change? I doubt it. I call that a big study flaw. And the third problem is this: the participants were instructed in intuitive eating at the beginning of the study and then at the midpoint. The study was randomized, controlled trial, so I'm going to assume most of the participants were new to this non-dieting philosophy. Were they dieters before? Had they ever tried to lose weight? Were they chronic over or under eaters? Because here's the deal. Just get some basic instruction in intuitive eating once or twice, especially if someone has been a chronic eater, does not necessarily your writing is funny, does not necessarily an intuitive eater make. For many of us, the journey from anguished eater to intuitive eater is a process, sometimes long, sometimes complicated. I can take weeks, months, or years. In my personal experience, the first few weeks of non-diet eating does not feel intuitive at all. As Carly from the blog Snack Therapy writes, intuitive eating initially involves a whole lot of thinking about food, and this is true at first. It's kind of like when you break up with a partner. You have bitch and moan to your friends, therapist, mom, other therapist, person handing out free samples at Whole Foods, cat, in order to get over him or her and forget about your dysfunctional relationship. It's the same thing with food. You have to analyze why you're eating what and when and why and how and with whom. You think about how you feel after certain meals. You might spend a lot of time dreaming about what you're going to eat tomorrow because you're finally allowing yourself to eat good food. So it's true, if you decide to start eating intuitively, it probably won't be very intuitive at the beginning. It'll be a lot of checking in with yourself. Carly, why did you eat that bowl of ice cream? Was it because you were hungry? Was it because you needed comfort? Was it because you saw a commercial for some and you had a craving? Was it because the moon is in the 7th house? Was it because you read that article about how some people develop lactose intolerance later in life, and so you should probably eat the ice cream now just in case you wake up tomorrow with a crippling dairy allergy? It'll be a lot of thinking, a whole lot of thinking. Do you think the participants of this study in the first 6 weeks after their introduction to intuitive eating were really accomplished intuitive eaters? Maybe, and also maybe not. Not that it matters much to the bottom line of weight loss, because again, that's not what we're expecting here in the real world. But if you're gonna call it intuitive eating, you maybe want to start with a bit more than two quickie info sessions. So ARG, this is irresponsible science. It's also irresponsible reporting. The investigation in this article was pretty damn piss poor. All Miss Reynolds had to do was tootle on over to intuitiveeating.org, which she references in her article, to see that nowhere on the website is there a promise for weight loss, where you can see that it doesn't even mention weight loss as an outcome. This is obvious. It isn't another fad diet craze that is to be used as a substitute for dieting in order to get your dreamy body. Nope, nope, and nope. While intuitive eating might not produce weight loss, it can give us so much more: peace of mind, a healthy relationship to food and eating and our bodies, a weight that is right and sustainable for each one of us, putting in the same category as weight loss dieting. Epic fail.